on?
Not yet, sir.
No, I'm making it live now. Yeah, we are live, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll start the video now.
Yes, sir.
Vilasni miss, you can start.
Good evening to all. On behalf of the CAS Scrutiny Committee and the Academic Improvement Committee of Royal College of Arts, Science and Commerce, Mira Road. This is Vilasini Gaude from the Department of Microbiology, extending a warm welcome to all the participants of this webinar, which is currently a hot topic on the 7th pay guidelines for CAS. So I call upon Professor Malika Bhutwala, our IQAC coordinator, to give a formal welcome address. Malika ma'am.
Thank you, Vilasini miss. On behalf of Royal Higher Education Society's Royal College of Arts, Science and Commerce, I, as advocacy coordinator, extend a very warm welcome to our guest speaker, Dr. Rupesh Raut, and all the participants. Our Royal College, a dream project of our founder, Professor A. Lakrawala, was established in the year 1989 with a mission that education upliftment of poor and needy students, especially girls from minority community. Our motto is empowerment through value education. And so, under the aegis of the trust, in the same campus, we have English medium girls' school, Urdu medium girls' school, and our B.Ed college for women. A hallmark of the college has been the impeccable record of near 100% results at the university level every year since inception. The college has been re-accredited an A grade by NAC in its third cycle in 2019. Coming to our event of the day, the webinar aims to familiarize degree college teachers with the revised guidelines of career advancement scheme under the 7th pay as given by UGC and subsequently adopted by our University of Mumbai. And for that, we have a very able and knowledgeable person, resource person, Dr. Rupesh Rao. Truly speaking, he gave a very insightful guidance to our own college teachers who were trying for promotion under CAS. Realizing the need of many such teachers, we in IQAC decided to conduct the same and with the right resource person. I'm confident that this interactive webinar will be profitable and fruitful for everyone present here. All the best to all the participants and hope that your queries will be solved by our resource person. Thank you. Over to Vilasini Miss.
I now call upon Dr. Chitra Kotian from the Department of Chemistry to introduce our esteemed speaker of the day.
Good evening to all present here. I'm extremely happy to introduce the resource person of our webinar today, Dr. Rupesh Raut. Dr. Rupesh Raut is currently head and assistant professor at the Department of Zoology in Elphinstone College. Prior to that, he was posted as assistant professor in the Department of Zoology at the Government of Maharashtra's Institute of Science. During his tenure at Institute of Science, he was engaged in teaching postgraduate students of zoology. Sir has a master's and a PhD degree in zoology from the University of Pune. He has also cleared the NET examination, the National Eligibility Test for lecturership. Along with his teaching experience, he has a lot of administrative experience. He has been a member of the assessment and calculation of workload for University of Mumbai Committee, a special invitee of University of Mumbai CAS Committee. He has been the member of 7th pay fixation for the University of Mumbai Department Teachers and University Affiliated College Committee. He is the chairman of the Committee for Verification of Infrastructure Facilities in Aided Colleges of Konkan region for newly developed colleges. He has also been a member of the Committee for Assessment of the Destruction of Colleges which took place during the Nisarg cyclone in the Konkan region. Sir has told me to keep it very simple, the introduction. I can still go on, but I would just like to mention over here that as Malika ma'am said, that he was extremely cooperative when it came to guiding some of our college teachers for their CAS promotion. And when we again approached him to conduct this webinar, he did not hesitate. He accepted our invitation without any hesitation. Thank you, sir, for having accepted our invitation, and welcome once again. And without much delay, I will hand over the session to you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Good evening, everybody. I'm Dr. Rupesh Rao from Elphinstone College, and today I'll be talking about UGC's 7th Pay Career Advancement Scheme CAS new guidelines. CAS per se is a very delicate issue as far as our teaching community of higher education is concerned. We are all worried about what are going to be the norms in the future, what are the norms at present, what were the norms in the past, and exactly where to begin. What is going to be the starting point when we are preparing our proposal, when we are submitting our proposal, and later on we are not sure how it will be assessed, as uh, things presently are so dynamic that every now and then we are landing up with some new guidelines from UGC and government. I still remember somewhere in last year, around August, I had interaction with Butwala madam regarding these CAS guidelines, as some of your colleagues were having some issues. At that point, we decided that we should discuss these things at great detail, so that in general, all teachers will not face the problem when they are preparing their proposals for promotions. Later on, I had a nice interaction with Professor Lakdawala sir. He also emphasized on, we should have such a program or some discussion regarding these CAS guidelines. I thank you organizers for remembering that interaction and planning today's function. I'm sure that this will give you guidelines regarding your proposals and how to approach your promotion. And I will also try to satisfy the queries which will be asked later on. As far as possible, I will try to clear them during my presentation only. So with this, I will begin my presentation. Now, regarding this CAS guidelines, I mean, there have been several presentations which you might have attended earlier during lockdown period, maybe somewhere in the past. These CAS guidelines or career advancement scheme guidelines, based on some parameters, was actually launched during 6th pay commission, where we were given some targets in terms of teaching, in terms of research work, in terms of certain administrative activities, in terms of certain management activities. And based on that, we were supposed to qualify for our promotions. Around 4 amendments were made during 6th pay commission, and later on, from 2019 onward, the state government has accepted 7th pay guidelines, proposed 7th pay guidelines, and we are now working on that. So with this brief introduction, let us begin. UGC on 18 July 2018 basically first gave guidelines for 7th pay commission. Later on 8th March of 2019, Maharashtra government published the revision of pay scale for teachers in colleges as per 7th pay Central Commission guidelines. Based on that, today's presentation is based. Now, in that GR of 2019, there were guidelines for 7th pay fixation, as well as there were guidelines for CAS promotions. So part of that we'll be dealing today, which is about our CAS. So as I told earlier, this CAS was implemented on 8th March of 2019, and following designation were proposed. First was assistant professor to begin with, later on associate professors. And for the first time in college, for college teachers, the post of professors were given. So basically, for 7th pay, we have now 3 designations, that is assistant professor, associate professor, and professors. There is one more step of senior professors, which is basically reserved only for university teachers. So we are not discussing that here today. So let us first look at what are various stages of promotion under CAS scheme during 7th pay commission. The incumbent teacher will be designated as assistant professor in academic level 10. Depending on what are their qualification criteria, they will be moved to assistant professor senior scale in academic level 11. If the incumbent person is having PhD, after 4 years, he is eligible for academic level 11. If he is having MPhil, after 5 years, he will move on to academic level 11. And if he is only net set Then after 6 years, he will go on to academic level 11. From this, after assistant professor senior scale, the teacher will move on to assistant professor selection grade into academic level 12 after 5 years of teaching and research. After 3 years at academic level 12, the teacher will move to associate professorship, that is academic level 13A. And after associate professorship, this is the new post that has been allocated to college teachers, that is professors. So after 3 years as associate professors, they will move on to become professors in academic level 14. So basically here we have these 5 academic levels as far as our promotions are concerned. Now, let us look at what are the requirements when we are considering various stages of promotion. The incumbent person is academic level 10, assistant professor, and if he or she wants to move to academic level 11 in senior scale assistant professors, he need these requirements. First is mandatory orientation course of 21 days. Afterwards, along with this, the person may do one refresher course or research methodology course. Then other than this, there are various options like the teacher may go for workshop, syllabus upgradation workshop, training, teaching, learning, evaluation, technology programs, faculty development programs of at least 1 week. Now this lot we need to do 2 such activities. But as far as possible, all of us do prefer orientation course as well as refresher course only. Along with this, there are other options also, like the person may also go for one complete MOOC course, massive open online course, where the person needs to have e-certification. Now here what they're supposed to do is you have to develop e-contents in 4 quadrants of MOOC during the assessment period, and for this you need e-certification. Then once we have these basic requirements, the CAS promotion criteria is that he or she should have a satisfactory or good grade in annual performance assessment report of either 3, 4, 5 of last 4, 5, 6 years. In appendix 2. What is this appendix 2? I will discuss little later, but this is basically concerned with our teaching and administrative work in the college or institution level. And later on, based on your API score of research as well as this teaching score, the promotion will be recommended by screening cum evaluation committee. Along with this, as I said, we need research score also. So in order to move from academic level 10 to academic level 11, we need to have 20 marks during our assessment period for category 3. Category 3 basically is research category, where we need to go for research publications or books. Details again we will see little later. So in short, if the person wants to go from academic level 10 to 11, one should have one compulsory orientation course, one refresher course in a concerned subject, and then teaching work should be satisfactory or good, and along with this you should have 20 research score. Then and then only you will be eligible for promotion to academic level 11. Then next category is from academic level 11 to 12, that is from senior scale assistant professor to selection grade assistant professor. Now here also we need any 2 of the following during the 5 years interval. That is either refresher course, we should have at least 2 refresher courses or 2 research methodology courses or 2 workshops or 2 syllabus upgradation workshops, then teaching, learning, evaluation, technology programs, faculty development programs, syllabus upgradation workshops, teaching, learning, evaluation workshops, and faculty develop programs. They should be of at least 10 days. We should have such 2 activities. Now I will like to add one thing immediately here, that whatever refresher course, research methodology course, or FDP or FIP we will be doing, basically we have to make sure they should be recognized courses, because I have seen during the assessment at various colleges that sometimes the teacher gets tempted by something is arranged in their own college of 1 week duration or 2 week duration, and they will simply put this as faculty developed program of their college, but which may not be the case. These courses should be approved by our MHRD. There are various programs which are approved by MHRD for faculty development program. So we should stick to them only. As far as possible, try to do from these recognized institutes and recognized courses only. Otherwise, there can be problem during evaluation. Now, along with this, we have other options, like we should have completed 2 courses of at least 1 week duration in lieu of the single course. What basically means, instead of 10 days course, 10 days course, we may go for 2 5 days courses in lieu of 10 days course. That's all. Again, there is option of MOOC course, as I have discussed in our earlier slide. Now here the CAS promotion criteria is again for teaching category, you should have either satisfactory or good grade based on your assessment. Then for this stage, we need research score of 50 during assessment period. And if this once you have done these courses, then you have got 50 research score, then the expert screening committee can recommend your promotion. Okay. Then next is assistant professor selection grade to associate professor, academic level 13A. Now here what we need is 3 years of service in academic level 12 or selection grade. So as selection grade assistant professor, we should have completed 3 years of service. Along with this, PhD is mandatory to be associate professor now. All right. And this degree should be in your concerned subject or allied subject or any relevant discipline. One needs to be careful with that. Now here, along with this PhD degree, 3 years of service in earlier stage, we should have one of the following, like one of the courses from refresher course, methodology workshop, syllabus upgradation workshop, teaching learning program, faculty development program of at least 2 weeks. Or just like the earlier case, instead of this 2-week duration program, we may go for 2 1-week programs, right? Along with this, we have option of again MOOC courses in 4 quadrants. Now, in order to go for promotion to associate professor, again we need 45 as our research score. So the CAS promotion criteria in order to be eligible for associate professorship is basically again satisfactory or good grade in your teaching based on your API. Then a research score of 45 during assessment period, PhD degree. Okay, and along with this, there will be a selection committee for which you have to undergo viva. So your viva will be there, your presentation will be there, the selection committee will scrutinize your proposal, the selection committee will evaluate for your viva, and then only you will be promoted for associate professorship. Now here one more point needs to be taken. As per state government guidelines, the date of your viva, I mean the oral presentation for associate professorship is the date of promotion, if it is accepted. All right. While for earlier cases, that is in assistant professorship, there is no viva, so backdated promotion dates could be given. But for professorship and associate professorship, the date of oral or your viva is date of promotion for selection. I'm sorry, here I am mentioned as professor, that should be associate professor. Then from associate professorship, the person wants to move to professorship, that is from academic level 13A, the person wants to move up to professorship academic level 14. Now here norms are again little different. First is the person should have completed 3 years of service as associate professorship. He or she should have a PhD degree in concerned or allied or relevant subject. Along with this, now he should have minimum of 10 research publications in peer-reviewed or UGC listed journals. So this is the first norm for professorship. You should have 10 research papers in the tenure which are peer-reviewed or UGC listed. Now of these 10 research papers, the person should have 3 research papers published during his tenure as associate professor. So during last 3 years, as associate professorship, the person should publish 3 research papers again in peer reviewed or UGC listed journals. Other than this, there is third requirement that they should have a minimum of 110 research score as per appendix 2, which we will see little later. So 10 research papers, of which 3 should be during the tenure as associate professor, a total of 110 research score during tenure. All right. Now, along with this, the teacher should have satisfactory or good grade in our teaching assessment. The promotion to the post of professor will be again recommended by selection committee. The date of promotion will be date of selection. That is the date on which you will appear for your viva or oral presentation or scrutiny will be the date of promotion. Now, along with this, there is one more criteria that should be fulfilled, that is research and academic score. That is research score should be 60 during assessment period. All right. So this is little tricky. First, 10 research papers, of which 3 should be during last 3 years as associate professors. Then 110 research score, along with this compulsory PhD degree, and 60 research score during assessment period. So if the person fulfills all these criteria given by the GR and he is present below the selection committee and the selection committee recommends their promotion, that will be the date of promotion as associate professorship. So these are the various stages for promotions and their requirements when we are looking for CAS. Now, these conditions, I mean, whatever these stages of promotion that we have talked till now, they were implemented and terms and conditions for them were implemented from 8th March of 2019. That is the date on which the GR was published. However, there are certain norms like the person had flexibility of appearing for CAS guidelines as per earlier norms. That is 6 pay guidelines in general. So promotions under 6 pay guidelines or promotions as per 6 pay guidelines were valid till 18th July 2021. Now this is the date till which if your promotion is on this date or prior to this date, you had a flexibility of appearing as per 6 pay guidelines or 7 pay guidelines. This was the option. But after 18th July 2021, if the due date of your promotion is after 18th July 21, rules and provisions given in 7 pay guidelines will apply. So in simple language, if the promotion date is after 18th of July 2021, the person needs to go for 7 pay guidelines only as far as when they are preparing their CAS proposal. All right. So this is one important point that one needs to think, because even today people are coming with old system and they are saying that we are eligible for this, but this is not the case. Remember this date, 18th July of 2021. Afterwards, all proposals, no matter whether you were working in 6th pay tenure, doesn't matter. But now, after 18th July 2021, we have to follow 7 pay guidelines only. That is 7 pay CAS guidelines. All right. Now, in our earlier slides, we were talking about appendix 2 and various tables for teaching. Now, this is the table that is going to show us assessment criteria and methodology for university college teachers. And here activities are teaching and involvement in college activities. So for teaching, as far as teaching is concerned, we need to complete certain target. So number of classes taught, that is how many lectures we have taken, divided by total classes assigned. That is what is the total workload given to you into 100%. So we want to find out the percentage of teaching percentage which we are doing. Now this includes various sessions on tutorials, laboratory, as well as teaching related activities. So here, if your score in this teaching category is 80% and above, it is grading criteria is given to be good. So the person should give or claim good grade. If it is below 18% and above 70%, the grade will be satisfactory. And if the grade falls below 70%, then it is not satisfactory. This is not accepted. So minimum cutoff is 70%. Then along with this, in this table, we need to look at your involvement in various university or college students related activities or research activities. So first can be administrative responsibilities, like either you are head of department, chairman, dean or director or coordinator, warden, etc. So when you have such responsibility, administrative responsibility, they should be taken into consideration. Then your examination and evaluation duties, which are assigned by the college or university, or when you attend examination paper evaluation activities, that is another criteria. Along with this, we have student related co-curricular extension field-based activities, like you may be chairperson or organizer of a student club, career counseling activities, study visits, seminar for students, other events like cultural events, sports event. You are in charge of NCC, NSS, and other community services. You might be playing active role in organizing the seminar, conference, workshop, and other college activities. You might be involved in guiding your PhD students. The person might be conducting either minor or major research projects which are sponsored by national or international agencies, and you are actively involved in research work with the proof that you are publishing either in peer-reviewed or UGC listed journals during this tenure. So they can be your own papers or they can be joint publications. So these are the various activities. Again, here grading criteria has been defined. If you are involved in at least 3 activities of this serial number 2, you will get good grade. If you are involved in 1 or 2 activities, you will get satisfactory grade, and if you are not undertaken any activity, it will be not satisfactory. All right. So this table, when you are preparing your proposal, these activities needs to be approved by your principal of the college, because he is the only person who knows what you have done in the college. So that should be approved by your respected principal. Now, when we are talking about overall grading for this criteria, the teacher will get a good grade if he is having good grades in teaching, that is serial number 1, and he is getting either satisfactory or good grade in activity number 2. All right. The person will get satisfactory activity if it is satisfactory in teaching teaching of the college, that is serial number 1, and good or satisfactory in serial number 2. And if the person is getting not satisfactory, that is when is not getting good or not satisfactory in overall grading. And when the person is getting not satisfactory in this table 1, unfortunately they won't be eligible for promotion. So you need to make sure that it is good and satisfactory, and you have to work accordingly. All right. Now again, there are various questions like we are on leave, we are on FIP, we are on maternity leave. What should be the case? There should be some misunderstanding as well as some confusion regarding evaluation during this period. So these guidelines also clarify what should be our stand. So when we are talking about assessing activity 1, that is teaching and college related activities, that is activity 1 and 2, when the person is spending their taking leaves like maternity leave, childcare leave, study leave, medical leave, extraordinary leave, and deputation, they should be excluded from grading assessment during that much period. So we have to omit that period and we have to assess them during remaining tenure in your college. All right. So again, where I will repeat, if the teacher is going on some maternity leave, child care leave, study leave, medical leave, extraordinary leave, and deputation, this period should be excluded from grading assessment, while the teacher should be assessed for remaining period of duration. Now this is applicable only to table 1, that is teaching and college related activities, student activities. Now again, here there is one more important thing that all teachers should remember, that when this is possible, when you will not be considered if you are on such leave, unless and until or on the condition that your leave or deputation is undertaken with prior approval of the competent authority. All right. So it should be prior approved by a competent authority, which is following all procedures laid down in guidelines. Okay, as per your rules and ordinance and statute of your parent institution as well as government. Then and then only these leaves will be considered for assessment. Okay, so that should clear this doubt, which is very much important. So now let us go on to next table, which is equally important, rather more important. We have said that we need to get a research score in various categories for at various stages. That is from 1 to 2 we need 20, then from 2 to 3 we need 50, then for associate professorship we need 45, and for professorship we need 60. All right. So now these research scores need to be based on this table. When we are evaluating or when we are claiming marks for our research activity, we need to go with this table. So now here what we have done, the research category has been divided into two basic categories. First is Faculty of Sciences, Engineering, Agriculture, Medical, Veterinary Sciences, and second one is Faculty of Languages or Humanities, Arts, Social Sciences, Library Education System. All right. So now here the basic difference is only in research papers. Rest all our marks are common. So when a person of science faculty is publishing research paper in peer-reviewed or UGC listed journal, he or she will claim 8 marks per paper, while the person from Faculty of Language, Humanities and Arts will claim 10 per paper. Now here again, this is one important part we should discuss, that research paper should be published in peer-reviewed or UGC listed journal. If you remember, during 4th Amendment, it was clearly mentioned that the journal should be from the UGC listed journal category. While here there is some flexibility where we can publish our papers in peer-reviewed journal or UGC listed journal. However, I will like to add that when you are claiming these marks, one needs to prove that we are actually presenting or publishing our work in peer-reviewed and or UGC listed journals. So necessary proof should be attached to that. Now these UGC listed journals are replaced by UGC Care List, which is hosted by University of Pune. So one may visit their website. We need to register for that. I forgot to take screenshots of those sites. I'm sorry for that. But this UGC listed journal is replaced by UGC Care List, which is available at UGC Care website. So you can visit that and you can take screenshots if you are publishing in that list. While for peer reviewed also, I will advise you to take screenshots of the homepage of the concerned journal. All right, so that we are able to justify that indeed it is peer reviewed journal. So after that, so this is first category. Second category is publisher which are other than research papers. Like here we are basically looking at books and translation works of the books. So books can be by international publishers, by national publishers. So here we will get either 12 marks or 10 marks. If it is chapter in some edited book, we are claiming 5 marks. If you are editor of a book by international publisher, you can simply claim 10 marks. And if you are editor of a book by national publisher, you can claim 8 marks for that book. Now, sometimes we can go for translation works of Indian and foreign language books. So here, if you are translating book based on the chapter or research paper, you can claim 3 marks. And if you are translating the entire book, you can claim 8 marks. Then third category is creation of ICT mediated teaching learning pedagogy, content development of new innovative courses and curricula. So ICT basically now during the pandemic, we have learned various techniques of ICT for online teaching, online assessment. So from that point of view, if the person is involved in development of innovative pedagogy, he or she can claim 5 marks each. Again, I will like to add here that when the person is claiming that, okay, I am indeed involved in development of such innovative pedagogy, you need to give valid proofs for that activity, right? That should be recognized. Otherwise, it will not be considered. Second, part B of this activity is design of new curriculum and courses. So here, basically, we can claim 2 marks per curriculum or course. Okay. So basically, when we are involved in members of board of studies can claim marks here with necessary proofs. The next is MOOCs, massive open online courses. We all know what is MOOC. So if the person is involved in development of a complete MOOC course in 4 quadrants, There are 4 quadrants of MOOC where we are involved in online teaching. We are involved in what should I say? Online delivery of contents, then online evaluation, as well as online interaction. So these are 4 quadrants, basic quadrants. So if the person is indeed involved in development of all these 4 quadrants, for every course the person can claim 20 marks. Now, sometimes the development of entire course may not be possible by a single person. So, if the person is involved in development of modules or lectures developed in 4 quadrants, he can claim 5 marks per module or per lecture. Okay. Then again here, next is content writer or subject matter expert for module of MOOCs. At least 1 quadrant we can claim 2 marks each. Some people can be course coordinator for MOOCs as per UGC guidelines. So in that case, they can claim 8 marks. Now this is interesting where we are talking about development of e-content. Now all of us in some form or other have developed e-content for our students during the pandemic. So depending on that, if we are involved in development of e-contents in 4 quadrants for complete course or for some ebook, you can claim 12 marks. If e-content is developed in 4 quadrants per module, you can claim 5 marks. If you are contributing to the development of e-content module in complete course or paper for at least 1 quadrant, you can go for 2 marks. Now remember, this is a tricky for complete course or paper or e-book of at least 1 quadrant. Of those 4 quadrants, if you are involved in development of material of entire paper, then and then only such marks can be claimed. And last, you are editor of e-content for a complete course, you can claim 10 marks. Fourth category is research guidance. So for PhD guidance, again there are 2 possibilities. The teacher will get 10 marks when the student is awarded with PhD degree, and if the thesis is submitted, the teacher will get 5 marks. Of course, for this you need to give proofs in the format of PhD declaration certificate or thesis submission certificate. So that needs to be shown to the consent committee. Another way is you are guiding for either MPhil dissertation or postgraduate dissertation. This is a nice option of collecting marks. So here for every student or every degree awarded, we will get 2 marks. Next is research projects. If they are more than 10 lakh, we will get 10 marks. If they are less than 10 lakh, we will get 5 marks. For ongoing projects, the first should be completed project, second is ongoing project. When your project is of more than 10 lakh and is in process, you will get 5 marks, and when it is less than 10 marks, you will claim 2 marks. For consultancy, many of our teachers are involved in consultancy works. If they are doing consultancy in some form, they will claim 3 marks. Obviously, for this, you have to give us proofs. Then fifth category is patent. Many of our teachers are taking initiatives in registration of patent. So if the patent is international, you can go for 10 marks. If it is national, 7 marks. Of course, for these patent submission documents or document submission certificate or acceptance certificate should be shown to the committee. Then in this subcategories, policy documents which are either submitted to international bodies or central government bodies or state government bodies. So if it is international level body, the person can claim 10 marks. If it is national level body, they can claim 7 marks. And if it is state government level body, they can submit 4 marks. For this, again, necessary paperwork should be shown to the committee. Otherwise, this will not be valid. Now, this is little tricky when we are talking about awards and fellowship. If it is at international level, you will claim 7 marks. If it is a national level, you will claim 5 marks. As far as possible, many of our teachers do come up with that I was awarded by this award at some function. I'm a good teacher. I'm an excellent teacher, some excellent researcher. But as far as we are, when we are talking about awards or fellowship, as far as possible, they should be from recognized institutes. Now, again, this is little vague and little bold, but it's up to you how to claim these marks. Then last category in this is Series number 6, marks which can be claimed for invited lectures or resource person or paper presentations in seminars, conferences. Again, I will repeat, these invited lectures or resource person or paper presentations should be in seminars or conferences, and they can be full papers or conference proceedings. All right. So whenever such conference, seminar or workshop is at international level, that is outside India, then the person can claim 7 marks. If the function is international but it is organized within the country, the person will claim 5 marks. If it is national level activity, the person will claim 3 marks, and if it is state level activity, the person will claim 2 marks. So we need to be careful here. Now let us just look at how these scores can be augmented. When we are talking about peer-reviewed or UGC listed journals, during 6th pay commission, there was a very vague terminology like impact factor greater than this, greater than that, or less than this. All right. However, during 7th pay GR or this GR of 8th March, the UGC has specifically mentioned that impact factor which we are determining has to be as per Thomson-Reuters list. Now again, this is old system of Thomson-Reuters list. This Thomson-Reuters list is now replaced by some other consortium. So we need to give proper proof for this impact factor. Many of our journals from taluka level, village level or college level are claiming impact factor of 5 and 10 and 15, which is absurd. All right. There are very few journals even within India who are having authentic impact factors. So please remember that. All right. So as far as possible, when we are talking about journals from elsewhere or Nature or let us say Taylor and Francis, there are so many published house, well-known international level published house. They will definitely specifically, they will precisely mention it as impact factor. Okay. Or JCR, Journal Citation Report. That should be considered. And for that, again, you have to give us proof that, okay, this is the screenshot of their impact factor claim during publication when it was published. So let us see how these scores can be augmented. So if the paper is published in referred journal without any impact factor, you can add 5 points to that. That means if I'm a person from science, 8 plus 5. If I'm a person from arts, 10 plus 5. Right? Now, when your paper is published in a journal with impact factor less than 1, you can add 10 points to the journal. If it is between 1 and 2, add 15 points. If it is between 2 and 5, add 20 points. If it is between 5 and 10, add 25 points. And when your paper is with impact factor greater than 10, you should add 30 points. Now again, many times we go for joint publications. So when there are 2 authors in your paper, total value of the publication, you will claim 70% each. For both authors, 70% of the total score should be claimed. When you have more than 2 authors for a paper, 70% of the total value of publication will go to the first or principal or corresponding author. Again, I'm saying either first author or principal author or corresponding author, and 30% will go to the rest of the joint authors. Now, why I'm saying corresponding author, principal first, there are various journals, especially from Indian system, where usually they don't mention who is the corresponding author, because it need not be the case that a corresponding author should be the first author. It is not the case. So try to make sure that if you are claiming marks as corresponding author, it should be mentioned on your manuscript that such and such person is the corresponding author of this paper. Otherwise, as per rule, we will give you marks. Now, when you're working on projects which are joint projects, both principal investigator and co-investigator will get 50% each. Again, here there is little glitch. Whenever funding agency approves the funding, usually it comes in the name of principal investigator only. There is hardly any mention of co-investigator. So it is up to you how to convince that when you are co-investigator, you need to show some proof. All right. Now, again, just like our earlier case, if the paper is presented as a part of edited book, it should be claimed only once. That is either conference proceeding or you are giving oral. You should not claim at both levels. When you are working for joint supervision of research students, formula shall be 70% of total score for supervisor and co-supervisor. That is, both supervisor and co-supervisor of PhD will get 7 marks each. Now there is one more limitation with respect to category 5B and 6. 5B was policy documents and 6th is invited lecture resource person. This table here, all right. Of your total score, you are allowed to claim only 30% marks. Upper cap of 30% is given. That means if we need from category 1 to 2, if I have to move, I will need 20 marks in my research score, right? So of 20, out of 20, I can claim only 6 marks from this category of policy document and invited lecture. I hope my maths is good. Yeah, it should be 6 only. All right. So accordingly, depending on which stage you are following, 30% of the marks maximum should be claimed from these 2 categories, while rest of the marks has to be claimed from other categories. And the last and the most important thing as far as this research score is considered, as per this notification, the research score that we are claiming as per these provisions should be from a minimum of 3 categories. There are total 6 categories that I have discussed so far. Of these 6 categories, you should have score from minimum 3 categories. Ideal scenario will be you are publishing a research paper, you are publishing some book, and you are claiming marks from some conference. That can be one simple combination. Are you getting what I'm saying? So we need to claim marks from at least 3 different types of categories. If this is not done, then again, unfortunately, you will not be eligible for promotion. All right. So this is what I wanted to say about the CAS promotion. These are the guidelines basically as per the circular. Based on this, you can think and you can ask questions of your own and you can work accordingly. That's all I wanted to share with you. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for this insight into the new guidelines. Okay, so we'll have a question answer session now. We have Dr. Nandini and Dr. Juliet who would be taking up the questions which have come from our participants. Okay, we had a set of questions through the registration forms itself. Okay, we have some in the chat boxes of Zoom and YouTube. So over to Dr. Juliet and Dr. Nandini.
Thank you, Vilasini. Sir, there are plenty of questions, a lot of queries from all people who are wanting to go in for their promotions. And I would request Nandini to take the first question. You're not audible, Nandini. You're not audible.
Yeah, good evening, sir. I'll be asking questions that were posted in the registration form by the participants. Most of the questions have been very nicely answered during your presentation, sir. But there's one question that says that the person has worked in the textbook and curriculum research committee that was in Pune. And this was from April 2017 to April 2020. Where can this be included is this question.
I will like to simplify the question that he has worked on some curriculum design in other university. Am I right? Yeah, so that will be development of innovative pedagogy and development of a curriculum and new courses. So that should be included there.
Okay, thanks.
And but
there's another question.
When that should be claimed now, this criteria was launched after 8th March of 2019. So after that only if he has worked on that panel or that work, he should claim the marks. Otherwise, he should not.
There's a range of year from 17 to 20. So I guess he can claim.
Yeah, he can claim as per 7th pay only. No, anyway, if he is claiming today as per 7th pay, he should go for that.
Okay. Okay, sir. There's another question that says that there's a promotion period from 2015 to 2021. In that period, you're filling up multiple PBAS forms. So how do you calculate the average?
No, what I will say, if you are following different categories, and from 15 to 21, I think you will go as per second amendment and fourth amendment and seventh pay. Now, since it is 21, I hope they will, the first question will be they have options depending on which month they are saying. If it is 18/7, before 18/7/21, they have option of going either with sixth pay or seventh pay. If they are going with seventh pay, the matter is pretty straightforward. As per the present guideline that I have shown you, they can prepare their proposal. If they're talking about sixth pay, what I will say is that they should prepare as per fourth amendment only, and they can claim score accordingly as per earlier norms also.
Okay, and how do you calculate the average was the question?
No, prepare different tables for different assessment periods. That will be the easiest way out. Okay. Because if you are looking at second amendment prior to 2017, for that period, prepare a table as per those guidelines, and then we can consider them, because averaging out or giving rules will be a little tricky here.
Yes.
So that will be the committee's decision how to work it out. You can prepare like that.
Okay.
So the next question
Then
is, could I take that up, Nandini?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. There's a query which says that the person is on a faculty development program for 2 years for the period of Jan 2018 to Jan 2020 for PhD studies.
Yeah, okay.
The query is how to include this in the PBS pro forma.
No, in the PBS pro forma, basically for 18/20 in category 1 also, you can simply mention the teacher was on FIP, sorry. Okay. As we have discussed earlier, when you are working on FIP, that period should not be considered. Like if you are talking about sixth pay category 1 and 2, there you can simply mention the person was on FIP during this tenure, so no mark claiming. However, they have to go for research score.
I don't know how valid this question is, but I'd just like to put it across. The query is that the person is working as a secretary of a cooperative housing society. Can this be counted?
No.
I mean, I really think it's quite irrelevant.
No. We are here concerned with only teaching related and research related activities. Rather, we should, I mean, even though the GR doesn't mention any like that, but technically we should limit to our field only.
Thank you, sir. Over to you, Nandini.
So there's another question. Yes, there's another question that says, sir, what is the CAS guideline for the period of COVID-19 lockdown?
No, there are no guidelines. Actually, majority of the teaching faculty has enriched their CVs during this lockdown period, if I'm not wrong. So that should not be the problem. Yeah, only concern should be in which frame we should fit it. I mean, whether we should go with sixth pay guidelines or seventh pay guidelines. That should be the only concern. Because I think our entire teaching faculty was overburdened with online teaching and online assessment during this period.
Yes.
So that's fine.
Okay. So there's another question that says that in the year 2015-16, the PBAS form of the year, say 15-16 and 16-17, how do you calculate the number of working hours?
Working hours are always same, ma'am. Weekly 20.
No, actually,
given to us.
You put in some hours for doing some committee.
So that was, ma'am, for 7th pay. No, see, no, today I'm restricted myself to only 7th pay guidelines. We are not concerned. Okay. So for that, they need to consult that those 6th pay guidelines and work accordingly.
Okay.
So this question, if the refresher course or FDP, is it necessarily from the same subject of specialization of the concerned teacher, or interdisciplinary, or from a subject of interest can also be considered for promotion from stage 3 to stage 4?
Technically, that should be as far as possible from your subject only, or at the most interdisciplinary, not more than that. I mean, if I'm a person of zoology and I'm just because I love my Marathi and I'm attending refresher course in Marathi, that should not be considered, because the purpose of refresher course is what, ma'am? Refresher course is meant to refresh our knowledge or to provide us with advanced knowledge of our subject or concerned subject, which can be useful in teaching or research activity. Okay, I'm not underestimating any subject, but as far as possible, we should stick with our own subject and or interdisciplinary, considering the philosophy behind refresher courses.
Thank you, sir.
So there's another question that says that the teacher was due for academic level 14 in the year 2020. So if the teacher is applying now, so will she apply in as per 7th pay or 6th pay?
14 is professor, if I'm not wrong, right? 14
Yes,
is
sir.
professor scale. Yeah, she
Yes,
will.
sir.
She has to apply as per 7th pay only. See, professor, this post of professor for college teachers has been approved only during 7th pay tenure. So that has to be as per 7th pay guidelines only.
Yes. Okay.
Sir, about this uploading of videos on YouTube, there is a lot of confusion whether points can be claimed for this. And this particular query relates to that. The person wants to know that the person's video was uploaded by somebody else, and can it be claimed under MOOC?
No, I don't think so. That should be claimed because that is wrong. When we are talking about online teaching or innovative pedagogy or ICT teaching, what we are claiming is that we have developed our own course, we have developed our own material, we have taken efforts for that, and we have developed those contents and we have delivered them to our students. As per those 4 quadrants of MOOC, what we need to do: online teaching, which is done by ours; online delivery of material, which is developed by ourselves; then online assessment, for which we have developed our own system, as well as interaction with students. So I am making something and somebody else is uploading on my behalf is not a good idea. We have nice options basically as far as these online contents are there. We can use Google Classrooms are there, right, where we can have I mean entire proof, whatever you have uploaded, whatever you have given. There is Moodle, there are so many paid options also, so they are already available. So why to, because this has happened, many teachers, when they come for CAS activity, they will simply say these are YouTube videos that I have posted online. But this is not a nice way of doing this, because it has to be formalized. We are not saying that you have not taken efforts, but those efforts needs to be formalized in some form. And our Google Classrooms or our Moodles are a nice way, or our Microsoft Teams. These are nice options where you can, simply give a proof that, okay, indeed they have put the material online. Simply putting the link of YouTube video and saying that, yeah, my students have viewed this is no, I mean, it's not a good thing.
It is not sufficient.
No, it's not a good thing. It needs to be formalized, because at the end of the day, it's principal who is going to approve that, right? And many times, I mean, even the screening committee or even college people do make sure that later on, ultimately it lands up with government people. You take your decision, whatever you do, whatever you want to do. And, we are the one to play role of villain later on. So it's better to avoid that, formalize that at college level only, and then only come up with proofs. It's a good way.
Sir, could we use the video that we have put on YouTube as a flipped classroom mode and claim points for it?
Yeah, again, I say, whatever you have done, there are so many ways. We just need documentary evidences. See, there are 4 quadrants. For every quadrant, we can give 2 marks each for entire course, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but of course, don't make a thing that, okay, I have developed some material in PDF format and delivered to students. That's not a good idea. So at least stick to some of the quadrants. Everything may not be possible every time. All right.
But the quadrants could very much be localized within the college. It doesn't have to be.
They can be, no.
Larger.
They can be, no. They can be.
Okay, that could be considered.
We are claiming that under ICT. We are not claiming them under MOOC.
Okay.
If you are talking about MOOC, that needs e-certification,
Okay.
and which is all of us know it's very difficult to get in there also.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
So there's another question that says that can we claim marks at both the place? I mean, presentation plus award. If the person has presented at the international conference and has won a prize for his presentation, can he claim points for the presentation as well as award?
Yeah, I think there you should claim. You should claim, because that is award, no? Under different category, we are claiming them.
Okay, sir. And there's another question that says that the e-content per module means, does it mean per paper or it means per unit?
A little clarification on the term module.
Since they are talking
the
about course,
is a little.
It should be entire paper, ma'am. It should be entire paper.
One module is entire paper.
Yeah. Because, for some subjects like, let us say, chemistry, physical and organic or inorganic might be clubbed together in their course. And a person of physical chemistry will teach only physical chemistry. He will do everything sincerely, no issue about that. But later on, he will simply say that I have done the entire course or something like that. But that can be sorted little later. So you should consider it as the entire paper only.
Okay. So can you just elaborate on ICT pedagogy a little bit?
ICT pedagogy now, ma'am, it's such a vast thing. Basically, it is nothing but it's basically I will stick myself with MOOC only. Whatever guidelines are given by MOOC, UGC MOOCs, they should be kind of ICT for us.
Okay. So there's another question that says that the research category marks is actually 65. The teacher has got 65 marks, but points, but because of capping, the point is slightly decreasing. So what shall the teacher do?
What do you mean by capping? What is capping? That research, the conference thing.
Yes.
No, nothing can be done, no, ma'am. That's what we are here today. We are clarifying things today only, so that they should not face this issue later on. See, the thing is that, don't take it personally. Even I am a teacher. We usually, or most of the time, we are looking for shortcuts, and presenting in conferences, giving orals and posters is the simplest way by which a person can claim. This is precisely what had happened during second amendment of 6th pay. There was no capping, nothing. All CAS proposals were simply with, conference proceedings, conference papers, and conference posters. And there, I think UGC realized that, okay, they are taking disadvantage, and later on, the capping and all that started. The purpose behind that is that only, that we should give equal importance to research publications as well as other activities of research. So, if there is a problem because of capping, nothing can be done. You have to do more work.
Sir, just this clarification has been asked by Divya Nigam, asking if the requirement for research score under 3 categories, is it only for the professor grade or is it for also the assistant?
Everybody. It is for everybody. It is everybody.
So there's another question that asks that the PPTs were prepared for online teaching. Can that be considered as e-content development?
No, but when you're developing PPT, is it that only you have put up PPT only? You must have explained them also, no? Yes. Right? So during explanation, I could simply record my PowerPoint presentation as a movie format, right? So that is online delivery of a content. So this is our way out for MOOC.
Okay.
When I'm explaining PPT online, right? Like just now also we recorded my presentation, right? So that is my recording which I can give to students. So that is a proof that, okay, indeed I have taught you. Just PPT is not a good idea according to me.
So just PPT won't help. You also have to give recording proof as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's a way, no, ma'am. Or simply what I will do, I'm a kind of a lazy guy. I will simply go to some website. I will download my PPT. I will edit the title, and simply, that's my presentation. What's the proof, right? But what is important here, whether I have taught this to my students or not. And the only way to prove is by a recording of some means.
So this question by Ashish Jain: for patents, books, book chapters, and book editor, in case of more than one contributor, is the API score to be divided like in the case of publications, or full marks given to each contributor?
So when we are talking about editors, usually there is if there are many editors, then you can distribute the marks, just like the logic of 70-30 for project or research. Again, that will be, ma'am, case by case. We need to ask our higher authorities, and only they can be justified. We don't want to do injustice to anybody, but if they work, they should get marks. Or they should make sure that chapters are in their name, something like that. No, and that should not be the case that there are 3 chapters in the book and there are 5 editors for the book. So even that will be little.
This question also is related to patents. So could you just elaborate for patents? Would the marks be distributed just like in the case of publications?
Now, since there is no clarity about distribution of marks of patents, we will follow the logic of, let us say, journals only. According to me, I might be wrong. But again, that will vary case by case.
It's a little bit of a personal opinion. Thank you, sir.
So there's another one that says that suppose the person was a chairperson for a technical session. Where is that included? In the research category or anywhere?
I think that was category 6, if I'm not wrong. The last
Yes,
category.
yes.
There they can claim those marks with
They can claim.
certificate or something like that.
And suppose you have worked as a consultant in some places. What is the proof for consultancy is one question that has come.
That has to be in black and white, okay, and that should be approved by your college also. On my own, I cannot do, because technically it is a wrong thing that I am doing consultancy on my own. Whatever consultancy we are doing has to be needs to be approved by our competent authority. In private colleges, that should be principal, right? So the college should know that you are doing consultancy, and that has to be in the related field. And there are so many things. What type of knowledge sharing will be done? What type of consultancy will be given? Whether there are any monetary benefits? How they will be shared? If possible, what is going to be college role in that? So all these things, terms and conditions, should be present in black and white in form of some agreement between the person, between the college and the concerned third person. If they are in such formal format, then that should be considered. So that is the only way by which we can claim, yeah, I'm doing consultancy.
Okay, sir. This is a kind of, I think this has been answered, but I'll just still ask this. The teacher says that she has done refresher course in 2012. Can she use that refresher course for her 2016-2021 CAS period?
From 16 to 21.
Yes.
What is the due date of promotion? That should be, if it is, 21, no? For 21 till 2018, the refresher course requirement was, diluted.
Okay.
But it's 21, no, ma'am. No, they should complete refresher.
No, she has completed, I think she must have done an extra refresher course in 2012. So can she claim that a refresher course in
the idea of refresher course is during the tenure only. That is the whole idea.
It has to be within the assessment.
During the tenure is better.
Yes. Okay. So there's another question that says that the teacher has conducted a research for an international business. No monetary benefit, no use of college resources were taken. But can that be claimed as consultancy?
Whether it was formalized. See, on my own, I cannot simply go to some institute and I will do some joint venture work. Like even today, I can come to your department. If you have zoology department, I will ask one of your teachers, okay, let's do some joint work and we will show this as a consultancy. No. The agreement has to be between your college, myself, your person. It has to be formalized. Then and then only such thing. Because this is precisely what has happened, that I think from university only, some teacher has gone out for some research work and she is claiming that I have done. We are saying we accept you have done it. But technically, we cannot accept that. If it is not formalized, it cannot be accepted. It is simple.
So just a little,
give us proofs. That's it. We need proofs.
Yeah, so just a little more clarity on that. What are the documents that we are expecting when we are talking about consultancy? When we say proofs, what documents are expected?
Proofs at what, for which activity we are saying, ma'am?
The consultancy.
It should be formal agreement, that is what is going to be the role played by this concerned person. What type of consultancy is expected? What are supposed to be outcomes? So it has to be a document, a proper document of agreement. You can, consult with some other people also, like how they do in corporate cultures. Something like that has to be done.
Okay,
Otherwise,
so it has to be a formalized document between both parties, the company and maybe the teacher, whoever.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And just not that, the person should work also for that. Just having that formal document of agreement should not be sufficient. No, we should ask the
document also informing as to what was the work done.
Yeah, exactly. What are the goals? What are going to be the expected outcomes, and whether you have achieved anything like that. Then and then only that is a consultancy. I'm too naive for that. I'm sorry. I'm giving my opinion about this. You can consult higher authorities for this.
Okay.
Are there any more
So just
questions?
coming back to the. Yeah, Juliet, miss?
Any more questions are remaining?
Yeah. There are a couple of questions coming up. So coming back to the question on ICT pedagogy, can we claim blogs, Google Classroom as ICT pedagogy?
Google Classroom should be considered technically. Blogs, I'm not sure.
Now, there is a query that said.
Blog will be open source document. No. Classroom is fine. But again, I'm saying it has to be a proper arrangement. Like, this unit had these topics, and according to for this, I have given this, I have taught that. It has to be proper. There is a nice way in Google Classroom also where you can arrange this information properly, and that should be shown as a proof.
Okay.
And it should involve all the quadrants, sir? Or even 2 quadrants would
For
be enough.
single quadrant, there are marks for a single quadrant also. So that's the person choice.
Okay, just like evaluation and e-content would be enough.
As far as possible, we should avoid evaluation also. So all know, every teacher has done that.
So Google Forms or something like
As
that.
possible, teaching learning is better, no?
So there's a question that says that we have made the PPT during the online teaching period, and if the recording was done, so is it necessary to publish the recording, or just keeping it as a proof will be sufficient? That's one part of the question. The second part is, if the PPT is shared in Google Classroom, will that be enough?
No. If you are saying that you have developed the PPT and you recorded the video, why you are keeping it for yourself? It is supposed to be for students.
Okay, so publishing is
that is not a leisure activity of mine that I will record it and I will keep it in my phone. It's useless. No, that is not serving the purpose. What is the purpose of ICT? That we have to deliver this knowledge to students. So it should reach students. And how it is going to reach students? And in a formal way, it has to be some online tool to deliver this matter. Many teachers do claim that I have distributed these notes on WhatsApp. No, this is not a nice way of showing the work. There are tools available. Why cannot we use it?
Okay. So and the teacher can at the most put the whole recording on Google Classroom, or maybe publish it on a YouTube channel.
Tell me now, what is the law? No. Today, if they are asking what is the use of these recordings now, maybe for next batch they can claim for the past activity. Yes. I agree, ma'am. Let us say I have done this activity 3 months back, and simply because I am saying today and you are putting it now is not a good idea. That should have been done earlier only, no?
Okay. Yes.
Sir, during these online, when we had online teaching, a lot of our Zoom lectures were recorded. The recordings are with us. It has not been shared with the students. But we have proof that the students have attended that recording. So would that be proof enough?
So behind my back, you can do anything. No?
No, would that be accepted, sir, is my question.
We need proofs, ma'am. That's it.
Okay, so we can have the Zoom recording and the Zoom.
It's the college and the principal who knows what the teacher has done. It is going to be the principal is the one who is going to support and prove that okay, my concerned teacher has really worked on these things. Unless and until you sign, we will not consider. It's as simple as that.
Okay. So authentication by the principal would be very much.
That should be done. That is important, no? Because you are the one who is the link between the concerned teacher and the system or university or government or whoever.
Any more questions from the participants?
Yes, there is one. This is on professorship. The teacher says that assessment period for professorship is 2019-2022. Can all his research papers from 2016 be considered for the API score for promotion?
Yeah, that's what, no, ma'am. When I'm saying that 10 research papers during tenure, the day you enter the service, from that point till today, you should have 10 research papers. After that, 3 research papers of them should be during tenure of associate professorship. All right. Now, other than this, your entire research score in entire tenure should be 110. Fourth rule is research score of 60 during associate professorship. So these are the conditions.
Yes. So again, one query on consultancy, that if there's a letter of appreciation the of the consultancy that is given, and if there's a proper project report, can that be taken as a proof and consultancy point can be claimed?
Put it in the proposal. Let us see what can be done. If evidences are okay, we can claim, no? Based on this, I realized that teachers have too many questions about consultancy. So this is a nice idea where you can really even teach me about how to formalize these consultancy activities. We can have a very nice session on that, basically. How to formalize this consultancy activity, because that is one of the major thrust areas of UGC also, that all teachers should be involved in consultancy activity for betterment of society and students. All right. So you can think it's a nice, it will be a nice activity.
Definitely.
Anything else?
Are there any more questions, Juliet Miss?
I'm not understood this question very clearly, sir, but still I'll put it across to you. It's from Dr. Manoj Kumar. As per 7th pay, according to the GR 8 March 2019, only Appendix Table 1 is required for college teachers. Then how minimum API score is required for college teachers?
No, it is required. It is required. There are certain drawbacks in pharma. I mean, I should say there are certain what should we say errors or in formatting the guidelines. But you can. I don't remember that clause now. But where the part where CAS guidelines begin, the last column says that for selection of assistant professorships, score in table 3 is required. It's mentioned there, first thing. And another thing, since that table is already present in the GR, we should consider that. Government has all the power to include some parts, and they have added that in their purview. So that should be considered. There is no shortcut. We have to work on research also.
I think we're mostly done with the questions, sir. Do we have anything else on the YouTube or on the Zoom chat? I think we are done, sir. So then could we then have the vote of thanks?
No, just a minute. That whatever these guidelines or whatever discussion we had just now, these are my perceptions based on my work that I have done so far. Some of these things, I mean, most of them are valid answers, but regarding some consultancy part, there can be little variation. So there can be some other way also to consider that, and that will vary from person to person. That may vary from officer to officer of university as well as state government. So that may change. So whatever I have said should not be considered the ultimate. There are ways. But again, based on the the way questions are asked, we were more concerned about online teaching. There are, I mean, hardly I got any question about journal publication. Hardly I got any question about good publication, because these are difficult activities. So as I said that, we are looking for shortcuts. This should not be the thing. New education policy is on the horizon. Lot many changes are expected later on. UGC has already proposed 4 years undergrad course linked to MSc or MA. So many rapid changes are occurring, and here the person in focus is going to be the student only. Many times it happens that the concerned teacher is just interested in enriching their biodata, and they are paying very little attention to colleges. Again, that should not be the case, right? Based on these questions, again, they are the same thing. Consultancy, online teaching, that's it. Nothing beyond that. But we have to widen our horizon. We have to give equal importance to research as well as development of new teaching methods. All right, writing as far as possible. Please give importance to that. There are no shortcuts in success. And after NEP, we don't know what is the future. I mean, I'm eagerly waiting that what are going to be the guidelines after NEP. Again, they are going to be changing a lot. So it's better that we develop this habit, of thinking in many ways, doing many activities. Those classical days should be gone now, that I'm coming to college, I'm teaching, I'm doing something college activities, I'm moving ahead. No, that may not be sufficient in the future. It's still pretty early to predict anything, but we have to accept this change and we have to work accordingly. If I said anything wrong during my presentation, I will be sorry for that, but I hope I have cleared most of your doubts. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those words of caution. and with the way ahead, the guidelines for the way ahead. And now I would call upon Deepika to give the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Juliet ma'am. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Academic Improvement Committee and the CAS Scrutiny Committee of Royal College of Arts, Science and Commerce, I wish to thank our founder, sir, Principal Sir Dr. Vikas Vaidya, and the management of the college for providing us with an opportunity to conduct the webinar on the new guidelines of CAS. I also wish to extend my gratitude to our honorable speaker for the day, Dr. Rupesh Raut, who took the time out of his busy schedule to grace the evening, address us, and patiently guide us with his in-depth understanding of this critical topic. I must also thank the conveners and the members of the IQAC, the Academic Improvement Committee, and the CAS Scrutiny Committee for their efforts to make this webinar fruitful for all of us. I would also like to express my gratitude to all our esteemed delegates of the webinar for their presence and contribution in making this webinar a great success. Please note that the link for the feedback has already been posted in the YouTube chat box and the Zoom chat box. Certificates will be provided only to those participants who have submitted the feedback forms, and kindly expect the certificates in a week's time. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
Thank you, ma'am. I will just like to thank again Professor Lakdawala sir, Dr. Vaidya sir, Butwala madam, and Dr. Chitralekha for interacting during this entire planning. Thanks a lot for this opportunity. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anup sir. It was very informative session.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Can I log out, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.
Hello. Can we end this session now?
Sir, I think the feedback link
Feedback
has
link is
not
not given.
come up.
Feedback link I sent.
It's not there on Zoom.
Zoom में एक मिनट it is gone now. Kindly everyone feel the feedback. Shall we end this meeting now?
Yes, sir.
I'm ending it. Huh?